The red lights go out, and we are off and running. So it's Paul Hinson in the BMW leading the Alfa Romeo race as they head down towards the first corner. But it's the 4C that makes a blistering start there as they head down towards us now. That's a great start from the 4C. It's Jamie Porter, I think, isn't it, that's got that car. You've got off the road there, Edward Robinson in the number 78 car, the Twin Spark Cup class entry. So cars making their way through the first couple of corners. There's Richard Ford having switched out of the Twin Spark Cup class for this season, but it looks like it is Paul Hinson in the BMW that's leading then. From in second place, the 88 car of Jamie Porter as they head down towards Tower, get it right, for the first time in this race. There's Andy Page in the Giulietta, which I think is the oldest car in this race, right in the middle of the pack there and getting stuck in with a battle. And did we have Jamie Thwaite start from the pit lane?
Yes, I can see he's already cleared one car. And he's just joining the back of the train now. So that TCR Giulietta is in the race. Big twitch there from the 111 Toyota MR2, which was the cause of the red flag that brought yesterday's race to a premature end, just getting roughed up there by the 33 Toby Broom in his Alfa Romeo 156. But the BMW Compact leading overall as one of the closed-wheel all-comers of the Alfa Romeos. It is the 4C that is leading as they come up towards the end of the first lap, and the Paul Plant Power Trophy class car in third position overall against the number 9 of Richard Ford. So that is a battle for the lead in the Power Trophy class, with Ford going to the outside and not quite able to find a way through, and might just let the
there's contact. Theo Millward just touches the back and touches the back again of Richard Ford's car. Theo Millward in the all-comers class. He'd come through from the back of the field, just touched Richard Ford. He spun around and just collected him again as Ford's car came to rest. And so Millward there continues on. He's got damage to the side of his car now, though. And that's rather a shame, because that was a good little battle that was boiling up for the Power Trophy lead.
Yeah, it's 3 different classes that we have. All big lock up here for the 59 going into Tower Bend. That's Mark Skeggs, Alfa Romeo GTV. This is Jamie Thwaite, who is already 9th across the timing line, although I dare say he's made up a couple of places on this lap already, so don't count him out for an overall victory still, because that car is absolutely rapid. But yes, as I was saying, there are 3 classes there, and this is from the modified class, where it's basically just unlimited capacity and then run on slick tyres as well. You have the Power Trophy, which runs to a maximum power to weight, and then the Twin Spark Cup, which is more for the standard 2-litre Twin Spark engine.
But for the lead of the Alphas, it's Paul Plant getting past the Jamie Porter 4C now, so the Power Trophy car gets ahead of the modified class car and into the lead of the Alfa Romeo Championship part of the race here. They've got Theo Millward just behind them as well, but then they've got Jamie Thwaite in the TCR car blasting his way through. It looks like Porter's got back ahead down the straight with the quicker car in a straight line, but he's going to have, but he's got the 2 Giuliettas, the more standard car and the TCR car bearing down on him now as they head through Hawthorne now. It looks like it's going to be Plant to the outside line of the 4C. Beautiful little car that, isn't it, the 4C? And it's rapid in a straight line as well. But Thwaites is now past Paul Plant. They're heading down towards Tower. You've got Theo Millward in the mix as well in the BMW. He's now up to 4th place overall as well. And it's going to be side by side for the lead of the Alfa Romeo part of the race as they head up towards the Jim Clark S's here. They're both modified class cars as well. 88 Jamie Porter in the blue 4C. The Giulietta TCR 40 Jamie Thwaites, who started from the pit lane, is through into the lead of the Alfa Romeo part of the race. And Porter concedes another position there. And he's going to concede another place in the Alfa part of the race too, because Paul Plant takes the chance and goes up the inside into Sunny.
Oh, Paul Plant undoing some of the damage that was done at just before Tower Bend, where he seemed to get eaten alive on the straight there. Obviously still in the lead of the Power Trophy in what is now 4th position overall, behind the BMW Compact. And yeah, Jamie Thwaites up into the lead of the Alfa Romeo Championship. One wonders what that problem must have been that prompted him to come into the pit lane, but was either not sufficient enough or easily rectifiable enough that he could take the start of the race, and obviously still showing a very good turn of pace. And actually, in terms of the overall, the BMW Compact Paul Hinson that's leading just did the fastest lap of the race. Now, in fairness, Thwaites was having to come through some cars, but on the previous lap, the lap times were very similar. So let's see what Thwaites can do about that. The battle between the 4C of Jamie Porter and the Juliet at Paul Plant is still raging on. But look at the difference in the straight line speed.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? I think yesterday Paul Plant was saying it's a relatively modest 2-litre engine, I think, in that car of his that's sort of fairly newly developed. So it's pretty good in the corners by the looks of it, but along the straights it's not going to live with the modified class cars, which have just got much more powerful engines, capable of much higher speeds and faster acceleration as well. But you can see through Barcroft, through Sonny, is right back with him as well, and maybe that's just a bit of experience as well as the sort of different characteristics of the cars. But yep, you can see in a straight line he just gets away, doesn't he, the 4C, and he extends it to sort of 10 lengths, and then it comes right back down again on the brakes.
A much tighter line into the complex as well there for Paul Plant. This is where that car will excel against the 4C.
Thwaites has done the best lap of the race, a 1:28.160 now. He's taken 4.5 seconds out of Paul Hinson, so he's looking like he could take the overall lead of the race.
Yeah, that's looking a bit more likely now, isn't it, with the gap down to 7.4 seconds. Paul Plant was looking in the inside there of the 4C into the hairpin. I'd love for there to be a timing marker at the beginning and end of that straight, just so we could see exactly how much time the 4C pulls on the front straight.
Yeah, and we are just watching them head through Hawthorns now, and that is the Mark Skeggs car, which is in further down the order. There, though, is the lead for the Twin Spark Cup class. It's the number 33 car of Toby Broom that's leading the race this time. James Ford, who won so many races last year, is only in second position to Toby Broom on this occasion. It's his third season of his comeback after a 28-year break, Toby Broom, and I think he had one race win during the course of last year, but here he's looking to get his first of the 2024 season. He's got James Ford behind him, about 7 or 8 tenths of a second behind him. Could we see a bit of an upset on the cards here?
Well, Toby Broom moving across from the V6 category, which he was champion of last year, into the Twin Spark Cup, and now going up against the overall champion from last year in the form of James Ford, with his 10 class wins from 2023. So it's a formidable opponent, but at the moment Toby Broom coming out on top as it stands. Right behind them as well, Stacey Dennis in the Power Trophy Giulietta, and she's a reigning champion in her class as well.
Yeah, we could see the dice going on between Jamie Porter and Paul Plant. It's Porter still ahead in the 4C. Meanwhile, the leaders, who are heading up towards the sunny end of the circuit, they're getting a bit close as well now, because Jamie Thwaites is within 2.5 seconds of the race leader Paul Hinson, who's been racing with the club for a long time. But there's Stacey Dennis, who won the Anne Clayton Award last year for the most successful female driver in the 750 Motor Club. She was the Power Trophy class champion last year, and here she's just behind the Twin Spark Cup champion and overall champion from last year, James Ford, who is probably more focused on trying to get back on terms with Toby Broom. We lost a little bit of time on the last lap. Meanwhile, the leaders, as they come into the hairpin, are nose to tail. We'll see if we can pick those up in just a second. They are turning their way through the hairpin now, coming out of it along the straight, and they're side by side for the lead here, and it's Jamie Thwaites that takes the lead now. Jamie Thwaites goes through to no one's great surprise. He gets ahead of Paul Hinson, the MR2 champion in the past, a Burkitt Relay winner as well, who's trying to come back at him on the brakes in his modified BMW Compact, but he can't make it through. So Jamie Thwaites from the pit lane takes the lead of the race.
Pretty good drive that, isn't it? Jamie Thwaites rising up the field with great gusto, and I wonder how much he'll pull away on this lap from Paul Hinson. Jamie Thwaites did miss out on the overall win yesterday. Oh, hello. Hello. So Paul Hinson coming back down the inside for the overall lead into Tower Bend. That wasn't in the script.
It wasn't it? And the three amigos you can see on the back number plate of Paul Hinson's car. He races in the Burkett Relay with his mates, David Drinkwater, the multiple Hot Hats champion, and with Adam Reed as well. But he's just one amigo on his own today, and he's trying to fend off this Alfa TCR Giulietta that's right behind him, is momentarily ahead of him as well. So, and Mark Skeggs has retired the 59 car. That's parts at the complex. It's the ex-British GT Championship car when there was some rather more esoteric entries in the British GT Championship in the early 2000s. But back with the leads of the race then, and here a lap ago, James Thwaites took the lead, but Paul Hinson has wrestled it back.
That's amazing how Jamie Thwaites was at 1.4 seconds quicker and now seemingly struggling to get by Paul Hinson here. Well, he's got a certain amount of power down this front straight, hasn't he? And it's just very briefly drew him alongside the BMW, but had to back out of it before they got into Clairvaux. So let's see what happens when they get down to Tower Bend once again. A bit of a hip and shoulder there, a wriggle from the back. Oh, the Toyota MR2 in strife again, the 111 machine. Getting it wrong at Tower Bend, where the leaders are coming up to now. And yeah, once again, Jamie Thwaites not quite able to mount a proper challenge onto Paul Hinson's car.
No, he's not. Of course, he doesn't really need to because he's driving in his own championship. Paul Hinson's not going to take any points away from him. So maybe Thwaites is thinking, well, you know what? I'm not going to risk doing anything silly. I don't want to stress the car more than I need to. It's a car that has been a bit fragile in the past, so why not just take it a little bit easy? He's coming up to lap now. The Richard Ford car, isn't he, who was involved in that incident at the sort of the second lap of the race or third lap of the race with Theo Millward. But Richard Ford in the V6 Alfa GT is being lapped now. So he goes a lap down. He's running in 12th position and third within the Power Trophy class. Of course, after that early contact, he lost contact with Paul Plant and Stacey Dennis. So just driving around to pick up points at this stage. 7.5 minutes left to go in this race, the Hitek Electronic Materials Alfa Romeo Championship race. Combined with the remaining close wheel Allcomers, the two leaders here overlapping again almost as they head down into Clairvaux corner, but Paul Hinson just manages to prevail into Clairvaux once again.
Yeah, only separated by a quarter of a second at the timing line. 7 minutes left on the clock. Of course, Jamie Thwaites did miss out on the overall win yesterday, didn't he, to John Cutmore's Spire. So that might be a little thorn in the side here. But this is the battle for the lead in the Twin Spark Cup. It is still the 33 of Toby Broom leading the reigning overall Alfa Romeo champion of James Ford. Although James Ford getting a good run here through the complex, and Broom's going to have to leave him a bit of space on the right-hand side. Coming very close to contact. They've got Stacey Dennis right in the midst of this as well. Dennis looking up the inside on James Ford. That's a bit of a nuisance for Ford, I'm sure. And she does manage to find her way through and splits the two Twin Spark cars now.
Yeah, so you've got Toby Broom and now Stacey Dennis ahead of James Ford. Stacey Dennis in that Giulietta, beautifully turned out machine, heading through the section at the first part of the circuit. She is perhaps going to try and find a way past Toby Broom as well. In a way, that'd be very helpful for James Ford because at the moment she's just a little bit in the way, really, in separating this battle. Looks like Jamie Thwaites has gone through into the overall lead of the race now. Yes, he has, ahead of Paul Hinson. So Jamie Thwaites has taken the lead overall. Of course, still leading the modified class of the Alphas as well. But Stacey Dennis still separating the two Twin Spark Cup leaders here as they head out of Tower Bend into the Jim Clark S's. There's 5.5 minutes of the race left to go.
Yeah, so Stacey Dennis, the lights flashing there on her car as she chases Toby Broom, the Twin Spark leader. It would be for 7th position overall. And two different lines there through Sunny in and then through Sunny out. You see the number 30 car getting a much better run, and Stacey Dennis to the outside of the complex. Gonna have to go the long way round, runs a bit wide, and Toby Broom is able to hang on to the spot ahead of the Power Trophy car.
Yeah, she's second in the Power Trophy class at the moment. Behind Paul Plant is Stacey Dennis, and if possible, Toby Broom would like to keep her exactly where she is, because that would mean he's got that little gap between himself and James Ford. They're going to be side by side down the straight now. In theory, Stacey's car should be faster in a straight line here, so I think she is nosing ahead. Yep, she is through down into Clervaux corner. So Stacey Dennis, should say, goes up to 7th place, and that gets the Twin Spark Cup leaders back together again. Toby Broom and James Ford with probably 3 more laps for them to go in this race. The second round of the championship, there's further rounds at Silverstone in May, Cadwell Park in July, Brands Hatch Indy for Festival Italia, which is always the best attended meeting of the season, and then Alta Park in September will round out the season for the Hitek Electronic Materials Alfa Romeo Championship. 10 rounds that they have this year across 5 different venues, and it's a championship with a great deal of history dating back more than 40 years. Michael Lindsay, the long-time coordinator of this championship, sadly no longer with us, and Andy Robinson has been the coordinator of the championship for several years now. And there's a lot of drivers that have expressed interest for this season. I think well over 30 drivers listed on their website, but sadly not all of them here this weekend. Hopefully we'll have better numbers for those future meetings at circuits, possibly so in the south of England, where possibly there's a greater concentration of Alfa Romeo competitors. Down into the complex comes this battle for the Twin Spark Cup lead, and it's still to be decided, really, isn't it? Toby Broom, with a couple of laps to go, is only just ahead of James Ford.
2 very different lines through the complex as Broom has to swing his car back across, and they're about to be lapped by the overall race leader as well. Jamie Thwaite is about to blast past them on the front straight. He's been lapping in the 26s lately, but you see James Ford was showing his nose on the inside of Clervaux to Toby Broom there. Oh, but Broom goes wide and gives the lead to James Ford anyway. And he does manage to recover it very quickly, but he will be ruining that mistake. Actually, has lost very little time with that little dip into the gravel, and could well challenge James Ford for the lead again by the time they get down to Tower, as the race leader is putting a lap now on Stacey Dennis. In fact, they are side by side for the lead in the Twin Spark Cup. It was Broom to the outside. It wasn't quite able to mount a serious challenge. Has to tuck back in behind James Ford, who has now consolidated his lead in class.
He does. Toby Broom there just throwing it away and sweeping off the circuit, and probably needing the marshals in need to improve between races to get the gravel swept off the track. But look at it, there's going to be a change here. Is the Ford has Broom overlapping with him as they were crossed up there through Sunny, but no, there's 2 car lengths between them again as they head towards the complex. Just looking to see how we're doing for time. We might get 2 more laps out of this. We'll have to wait and see. Jamie Thwaites is just rounding the hairpin with 1:33, 32, 31, 30 to go. It's going to be touch and go whether we get 1 more lap or 2. Have to pick up if the last lap board has gone out, which I think it has. The last lap board has indeed gone out to Jamie Thwaites, and so it's also the last lap for the Twin Spark Cup battle as well.
Yep, heading down the front straight, Toby Broom was pretty much pushing James Ford around the hairpin, but didn't end up getting the best of exits, I think, as a result of it. So the gap when they got over the timing line was about 0.6 of a second. And just past the corner where Toby Broom made that mistake and gave the lead to James Ford a lap ago, but he is still within striking distance. Not quite as close as he was last time around when he was closer into Tower Bend. Yeah, no way through James Ford. James Ford defends on the inside, and Broom running out a little bit wide actually through Tower anyway. So I think if James can keep this neat and tidy, he might just be bringing this one home.
Yeah, I think you're possibly right. Half a lap for them to go. Broom just taking a little bit of curb there at the Jim Clark S's, the number 1 car. Ahead, of course, of James Ford at the moment, the driver from Lincoln. Broom, and another 156, the driver from Linfield. Not a lot to choose between them in this race. Of course, it was Broom ahead for a lot of it, but the checkered flag is going to go out now to that man, Jamie Thwaites, who started from the pit lane. He takes the win in the second Alfa Romeo and Allcomers race of the weekend. Any late drama within the Twin Spark? Well, we've got Paul Hinson just behind them. Is he going to upset things between them as they go into the hairpin for the final time? It's James Ford that's ahead, and I think he's going to stay that way. So it's James Ford coming up to the line, and he is going to take the Twin Spark Cup Class victory from Toby Broom. So they are 8th and 9th overall. Paul Hinson comes across the line to take 2nd overall in the race, the first of the Allcomers cars. There is the 78 car of Edward Robinson. He's going to complete the top 10, I think. He's son of Andy, the championship coordinator, and very much a recruiter for the championship. He's certainly got Stephen Anderson, one of his fellow competitors, involved here. 3rd place over the line is going to be Theo Millward, who played a part in this race, as Richard Ford is only too well aware, in his BMW. He goes across the line now to take 3rd place overall. And then we should have the 4C of Jamie Porter. Yeah, that's just heading into the hairpin, I can see from our commentary box window. And then we're going to have our Power Trophy winner immediately behind him, which is going to be Paul Plant. There he is now, so up to the checkered flag they come. There's the 4C. And there is Paul Plant to win the Power Trophy class. So it's Jamie Thwaites, Paul Plant, and James Ford, the same 3 class winners as we had yesterday within the Alfa Romeo Championship. And there you can see the MR2, I think the last car to cross the finish line at the end of that race. I think 13 finishers out of the 14 cars that started. Let's have a look at the results. Jamie Thwaites, it was number 40 that took the win in the Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR. 13 laps completed for him in a smidge under 20 minutes. Second to number 25, Paul Hinson in the BMW Compact, 25.775 seconds drift in the end. Third was number 81, that's Theo Millward in the BMW E36, 56.657 seconds behind. Fourth was number 88, Jamie Porter. Fifth, number 20, Paul Plant, the second class winner, the first Power Trophy car home. Sixth was number 30, Stacey Dennis, second in her class. Seventh was number 14, Andy Page. Then eighth, number 1, James Ford, the winner in the Twin Spark Cup from his arch rival, number 33, Toby Broom. Edward Robinson, 78, completing that podium in that class. Then Richard Ford, Robert Higgins and Stephen Anderson completed the finishers. Mark Skeggs in the GTV did not make it home. And so that is the end of the Alfa action. As I say, they're in action 4 weeks hence on the Silverstone National Circuit. And we've just got one more race to come here at Croft this afternoon. And that is going to be the 150-minute race for the Tequila Club Enduro Championship. But we're going to head down to the pit lane now, and Tom Butterworth is going to speak to our winners of the Alfa Romeo and Allcomers race.
So we're just waiting for Jamie Thwaites just to jump out of the car here. Just a little bit of a struggle.
I saw you were waiting to interview me, so
How was that one, Jamie?
yeah, I was looking forward to fighting like I was yesterday, but unfortunately his rib injury has kept him out from today, so we just went and had a bit of a play, really.
Glorified test session.
100%. We had some fun in there.
I was going to say, you look like you enjoyed it.
Yeah, some of the guys, I mean that guy who was second in the BM, he was pushing really hard, so yeah, no, all credit to him, he was trying hard.
Great stuff.
Really hard.
Well, two races, 2 wins for Jamie Thwaites, so we'll move on very quickly. Thank you very much for that, though.
To get out.
Sunday Drive with Julia. Here we go. We're going to move through to number 1, which is James Ford, who's the winner of the Twin Spark class.
Only just.
Yeah, only just. He pushed you. Well, you had to work hard for that one.
Pushing the whole race, to be fair, and to be fair, I think he had the better of me for most of it. I think he was a bit quick around here, and I relied on a few opportunities to sort of make my move and get back in the game, really. So
went on a trip through the kitty litter. It was Toby Broom in second place, and went through the kitty litter down here at the first set of corners, and then tried to overtake again up into Tower Bend. Were you worried?
No, well, not really, because I had the inside covered, and I kind of parked it on the apex and got on the power a bit before him, so playing a bit of a game really there, but it all worked out in the end. I'm quite happy with the result, really. I feel a little bit sorry for Toby, to be fair, because he's about due a win, But yeah, very pleased.
Well, pushed you hard all the way though, so you had to work for it. And like I said, glad you're very pleased with that. 2 races, 2 wins in class.
Yeah, good start.
Great stuff. Trying to find our Twin Spark winner, which was Paul Plant, but looks like he's just gone through to Parc Ferme. So I think we'll be wrapping this one up fairly quickly, and we will move on to our 2.5-hour endurance race now, which is the Club Enduro Championship, and that's coming up next.